In 1897, the British colonized India for the first time during the Cold War. The British faced a big problem. The problem was that all the revolutionaries who took part in the war were not afraid of death. They took part in the war willingly. So the British thought, what kind of condition they should be in which would be more dangerous than death? After a lot of thinking, the British created a dangerous place, which is known as Cellular Jail, which is also known as Black Water. It was not just a jail, it was a hell where people did not eat flour or sugar. They ate human blood. In the 19th century, the British imprisoned about 80,000 revolutionaries in this jail, but only 300 people came back alive. Imagine how this place was. In today's video, you're going to know the story of that lifelike hell on Earth, a fact that many British officers wanted to hide. After listening to this terrible story, you may feel that it was easier to hang people than to send them to jail. What was actually happening in those terrible days in Black Water? We will find the answer today. The period of 1897 was like a flood. If it had been a little longer, and if it had been a few more days, then perhaps the British rule of the Indian subcontinent would have ended at that time. The British also understood this very well. So when a revolutionary was caught by them during the flood, they could understand one thing. Keeping these people in India means setting fire again. So they started looking for a place which was almost impossible to return from thousands of kilometers outside India. Until the end, they found the place, Port Blair, the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. On all four sides, there was only the Gobi Sea, and in the middle, there was a broken lamp, as if the earth had ended here. In 1897, March 10, about 1,000 revolutionaries were forced into the ship. After crossing the sea day after day, when they reached this island, and what they saw in front of them was not a jail. It was an unknown forest, a dense forest of darkness, and living creatures hiding inside it. After taking off from the ship, they did not get any rest. The first thing they did was cut down the forest. Imagine, their hands were tied, but they could not untie it. They started this cruel work. Then they built a house, but not for themselves, but for the British officers. Many prisoners, snakes, and scorpions died doing this. There was no medicine, no cure. The meaning of work was death. To save this island, they waited to die. Gradually, they created this special jail, Cellular Jail. This jail made of red brick from Burma was completed in 1906. It had 7 large wings and was spread all over Karagar, and there were about 700 small cells inside it. These cells were so small that one person's hand could not hold them all together. Long story short, it was impossible to see the prisoners. The whole cell was made in such a way that there was no human being inside. Only a few bodies and bones were left. The British officers here were even more dangerous than the prisoners. Every day they had to pull the prisoners like a wheel to extract coconut oil. There was no way to stop them, and if no one could do that, then they would be killed. As long as the rice would rise, the raw meat would come out. Not only this, for even a small mistake, the prisoners would be hanged, which would hurt the body. The condition of the food was terrible. There were 2 plates, one to eat and the other to bathe, wash clothes, and do such natural things. Can you imagine how many people had to be hanged? There was no shelter at night. They had to sleep on the floor. There was darkness everywhere and no sound. And there was no water inside. Many of the prisoners tried to escape from this hell, but almost everyone was caught. And if they were caught, they would be tortured. It was so terrible that no one dared to think of escaping. At one point, there was a situation that no one wanted to escape because the British had broken not only their bodies, but also their willpower. The desire to survive was slowly dying, and that jail was turning into a living hell. But at one time, a strange incident happened in this jail. In 1872, the dark jail of Andaman took its terrible form. At that time, Lord Mayo, one of the most powerful British men, he thought this place was completely under his control. There was no problem here, but he forgot one thing. Kachai Bandi Singh also wanted to hunt in Sujagpil. There was a brave man in this jail, Sher Ali Afridi. He was an ordinary prisoner from the outside, but inside was the fire of revenge, and that fire was extinguished one day. In a sujog, this prisoner killed the most powerful person in British India, Lord Mayo, right in this black soil. The jail that was created to break the mind and spirit of people, that jail itself wrote such a history. It also erased the fear of the British. After that, the fear of this jail spread further, and Sher Ali was hanged. But not only here, he also tried to escape from this hell. In 1872, two prisoners did an impossible thing. They cut a tree from the forest and built a ship, and with that ship, they sailed to Kolkata. Imagine, only the sea on all sides, unknown path in front,